Hey everybody, I decided to come outside and because I didn't want to miss this day of doing the Omer. Today is day one of counting the Omer, day one out of 49. And the way it looks outside now, this is what twilight is called. So this is twilight, y'all. This is twilight. So I want to show you a little bit. We cut down a lot of trees today. My husband and I cleared the trees around the shed today. So that's what you see there. And yeah, today was amazing. Very amazing day. I also want to say that today was my husband and I's anniversary. 14-year anniversary. Now the funny thing about that is this. Earlier, while I was preparing for Passover, preparing in the videos that I was doing, I literally remembered that our anniversary was coming up, said I wasn't gonna forget, and y'all, I turned around and I forgot. Both me and my husband had forgot again. But I can't say both me and him. I was reminded and I turned around and forgot again. So my son came out and said happy anniversary to us while we were cutting down trees. So yeah, but that special. So there's a lot that happened today, videos that I have to actually prepare so that I can share, because today was day two. Earlier today was day two of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It was also the day of first fruits, which was special because that was the day that Jesus had raised from the dead. So there was a lot that I wanted to share today. But anyway, counting the Omer. So this Omer count is, again, a 49-day count. And it goes from this feast all the way to Pentecost. Pentecost. The 50th day is actually Pentecost. So each one of the days, each day that I count Omer, I'm also working on character. And so some of the things that I will be learning, there's 1 week that is spent working on a different character. For instance, I'll be working on this entire week, I'm working on loving kindness. Today actually is called, and loving kindness in Hebrew is called Chesed, Chesed, Chesed. And so today, day one, my focus was loving kindness in loving kindness, and in each one, so let me tell you what they are. So Chesed, which is loving kindness, is Gevurah, which means discipline. It is Tiferet, which means compassion. Netzach, which is endurance. Had, which is humility. Yesod, which is foundation. And the final one is Malchut, which is leadership or servant leadership. And so each one of those qualities, like today is Chesed, Chesed of Chesed. And so it's loving kindness in loving kindness. Tomorrow, or like now, beginning now, so I can actually start working on it now, because we're after 6 p.m. It is Gevurah of Chesed, which is discipline in loving kindness. And so and then once I get past these 7 days of Chesed, then the next 7 days the focus will be Gevurah, and learning how to operate in each of these qualities. So today there's a couple of questions and I think every day for each of these qualities, as I'm learning these qualities, there are different questions that I have to consider. So for instance, today it says, ask yourself, what is my capacity to love another person? What is my capacity to love another person? Do I have problems with giving? Am I stingy or selfish? Is it difficult for me to let someone else into my life? Am I afraid of my vulnerability, of opening up and getting hurt? So those are all questions that I consider today. And so no, I'm not stingy or selfish. No, I'm not stingy or selfish. No, it's not difficult for me to open up and let anyone into my life. I'm not afraid of vulnerability, of opening up or getting hurt. Well, y'all know that because I try to share. I share a lot with you guys. So yeah, I'm like opening up and letting you all into my life. And you guys have your feelings about that. Sometimes you share, sometimes you don't. It says, what is my capacity to love another person? I feel like I'm able to love. I try. I'm itching now. I think so. A mosquito figured out how to bite me. They attacked my ankle. I got socks on, got long pants on. Anyway, so that was the consideration for today. The exercise, every day has a consideration, every day has an exercise. So today's exercise was to find a new way to express your love. What did it say? To a dear one. To a dear one. Find a new way to express my love to a dear one. So I think one of the things too with expressing love, that's why I came out, as a matter of fact, and showed y'all, look at all this stuff that my husband and I did. I'll show you again. A lot of trees, y'all. And then we went in the back, that big tree back there, we cut one of the limbs down from the tree that was in the back. Those right there I cut up. Just coming out here doing something like that, participating in something like that is an expression of love. Like I could have easily said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to get bit by any mosquitoes. Like I don't want da. But learning to participate in things that my husband likes. For instance, have you all ever seen this video? It was not video, it's a sitcom from back in the day, and it's called Green Acres. And if you remember, in that sitcom, the man, he was a country boy, right? And he ended up marrying a lady from New York, a city girl, Now, I'm not from New York, but I'm from Chicago, and I'm every bit of a city girl, and I have married a country boy. And so the truth of the matter is, we have our ways, y'all. Being in the city, we have our ways. And my husband being from the country, he has his ways. And so I feel like a part of showing love, like my husband loves the garden. He gets the credit for that. He is an amazing gardener, and because of him I have learned to like gardening. Yes, I know it's getting dark, y'all, and I'm gonna go in again. This is twilight. So I just wanted to say, my husband, he's an amazing gardener, and he's used to all this. He grew up with all of this. Me, myself, I did not grow up like this. So taking that time to learn this, and learning to like it, working with my husband in his element, that is loving kindness. In loving kindness, it's love. Because like what they'll tell you about me, I'm a computer girl, I'm a computer nerd. Like I'm in the house. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Let me get up out of this dark. go in. There we go. You can see me again. Yay! So yeah, every day I'll be sharing. This week the focus is on loving kindness. This week the focus is on loving kindness, she said, and from now into tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll be dealing with another uh, one of the characteristics that I'm learning, and I look forward to sharing that. And so, yeah, and not in the dark, not sharing in the dark. You guys have a blessed day. Again, this is day one. This is 2025. Now, I think I did one from 2024. It was my first time, by the way. I didn't mention this. My first time of counting the Omer was last year. I didn't even know about counting the Omer. And how about that's biblical? So I'm about to go and get you the scripture that shows about counting the Omer. And like I said, I had such a great time doing it last year. So I look forward to it this year. But last year when I did it, I think I started like at day 2 because I didn't realize that that's what King Jesus was showing me. And so I'm going to go back and see if I can find that first day of counting the Omer from last year and kind of glean from that. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. She said, loving kindness of loving kindness. Y'all, let's get started with this loving kindness. Okay, bye for now. And thank you for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, bye. Hey, so I want to share with you a little bit about counting the Omer. Technically, we're in day 2. I'm just getting to this video, so I'm going to start from day 1 because I don't want to miss the day 1 as far as sharing it. Again, technically, we're in day 2. Counting the Omer is biblical. I first learned about it last year and had a ball. Like, I could not wait. I did my printout because I went through, there's like a lot of research that you can find online about it. So I did my printout that I follow for each of the days of counting the Omer. I could not wait to do this. So this my printout comes from a website called AISH.com. Daily Omer meditation. Meditation is when you're thinking deeply about something. It's not that other junk that it's not that. So it's really to like ponder things in your heart and really think deeply about things. And so counting the Omer, what an Omer is a measurement. It is a measurement. I remember the first day that last year, like I didn't even know about counting the Omer, and I kind of felt some type of way when I found out, because I think I found out on the second day. And the first day I realized my study from the first day, where there was a measurement that was being done and a weighing that was being done, and I'm like, oh, okay, I actually did count the Omer, I just didn't know what I was doing. So like I would never ever forget that. So it's a 49-day count. It is definitely a discipline, and the discipline is really it's about working on characters that refines ourselves. We are the Omer. We are being weighed, and so we deal with, like she said, which is loving kindness, Gavura, which is discipline, Tiferet is compassion, Netzach is endurance, Had is humility. That week, was amazing. Yesod is foundation, or being firmly rooted, and Malchut is where we learn to serve. in leadership positions to serve. And I liked that one because if you remember, that's one of the things that King Jesus did before he passed. He washed the feet of his disciples, which was serving, and he said to them, like, you don't know what I'm doing, but you will soon understand. And what I do, he wanted us to follow. We're to serve. We're not just to be leaders, but we're to serve. So each week is a focus on one of those qualities. And then during the week, like this is the week of loving kindness, which is just said. And each day this week, I will learn about how to walk in each one of those qualities. Like for instance, today, all day today, like I said, I'm just not getting to the video, but all day today was about loving kindness in loving kindness. And tomorrow it'll be discipline in loving kindness. So, and these are things that are amazing to learn, good to walk in, to practice, to walk in, because it betters me. It keeps this in my mind that this is the walk that I'm to have. And it's a 49-day count, so each day is different. But anyway, let me show you that it's biblical. So if you go to Leviticus chapter 23, that is where God gave the instructions for each of his feasts. And so where you will see the counting of the Omer is found in verse 15, beginning with the subtopic of, I'm looking for my glasses, y'all. I don't know what I did with them as usual. Beginning with the subtopic of the Feast of Weeks, which is Pentecost. This is what verse 15, I'm just going to read verse 15 and 16. It says, and you shall count for yourself from the day after the Sabbath. Let me pause there, because a lot of times we think of Sabbath as being Saturday, right? The seventh day. And that is true. Sabbath is the seventh day. But with this particular Sabbath, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a day of rest. So that is a Sabbath. And so it says you should count for yourself the day after the Sabbath. That will be the day after that first day of rest of unleavened bread. So that means the 16th, because the unleavened bread, the Feast of Unleavened Bread begins on the 15th. No matter what day it falls on, the 15th is a rest day. And so it was amazing this year because this year the 15th of Nisan fell yesterday. It fell yesterday on a Sunday. So the Sabbath was Saturday, and then you had a second Sabbath rest, which was Sunday, because of the feast. So the counting begins on Nisan the 16th, and it's important that we know the date as opposed to just following the days, which is what this world does. And so this world, they're celebrating I think it's this coming week, Easter or whatever, and they call it Resurrection Sunday, but that wasn't resurrection. That day is not the day that Jesus rose. And if they're following it that day, that means that they're going to have the count for Pentecost wrong. And so I wanted to do this video and share this with you and make sure that I'm sharing this stuff, because if you have the day wrong, let me show you this real quick. First, let me finish reading this and let me show you why this is so serious. So it says, and you should count for yourself from the day after the Sabbath. We know that this will be the 16th, so you're going to start on the 16th. From the day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be completed. Count 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath, which is the day after the 49th day. It says, then you shall offer a new grain offering to the Lord. You shall bring from your dwellings 2 wave loaves of 2/10 of an ephah, and they shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits. It says to the Lord, they are the first fruits to the Lord. So that's where you see the counting of the Omer. And again, an Omer is a measurement. It's a weight. So, what I just said, and I want to share this with you, is I just said that if you have the date wrong,
This is serious, and it is serious for you to have this date wrong. And here's why. So King Jesus gave a parable, right? I know you know this parable, but I'm going to share it anyway. It is the parable of the 10 virgins, the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise virgins. So I'm going to read this to you. It's in 13 verses. It says, "Then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom." Now all 10 took their lamps to go out to meet the bridegroom. It says, 5 of them were wise, 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps, but took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. So all of them fell asleep. It says, "And at midnight a cry was heard, 'Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him.' Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, 'Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out.' But the wise answered, saying, 'No, lest there should not be enough for us and you. But go rather to those who sell,' it says, 'and buy for yourselves.' And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterwards, the other virgins came also, saying, 'Lord, Lord, open to us.' But he answered and said, 'Assuredly I say to you, I do not know you.' It says, 'Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour which the Son of Man is coming.'" So here's the thing. God himself instituted these festivals. And when he instituted the festivals, he gave specific dates. This world that we live in has been real strategic in hiding these dates, confusing these dates. So people are in the habit of celebrating Pentecost, but they're celebrating it on the wrong day. So you would think, it's not important, Even with Easter, they people are celebrating Easter. This is a festival that was in existence even when Jesus was on the face of the earth. This festival was in existence. As a matter of fact, if you look at your King James Version, if you're a King James Version reader, it's Acts chapter 16. I think it's verse number 3. I pulled out, and normally I use the New King James Version, but I literally pulled out my dates, and I pulled it out specifically to be able to show you this. So it's Acts, I think it's chapter 16. I think it's chapter 16. Let's see. This so little. It's hard to see. Let's see. Is it chapter 16? Hold on one second. Let me go find the scripture. Give me 1 second. Okay, I found it. Grab my glasses. All right, so it's not Acts chapter 16, it's Acts chapter 12. And it's verse number 4. I'm going to start at verse number 1. It says, "Now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword." It says, "And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread." So it's letting us know the time frame. And okay, so the time frame was the days of unleavened bread. That would have been from Passover, nights in the 14th, to nights in the 21st. It says, and when he had apprehended him, and it would have been any time during that time frame. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. The specific day that it actually happened, it's not telling us, but it's just letting us know the time frame, so we know a starting and an ending point. So it says, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to four quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. So they were going to wait until Easter had passed. And here's the thing. People today celebrate Easter. They call it Resurrection Sunday, and they say that it's the day that Jesus was raised from the dead. But what they're celebrating is not Resurrection Sunday. Is not the day of resurrection. They're calling it Resurrection Sunday. So they're looking at the actual day as opposed to the date, and that's where they're incorrect. So going down to the notes, this is what the note says. It says, this is an unfortunate and absurd translation, as Easter was a pagan festival observed long before Christ. It is not a Christian name, but is derived from Ishtar, one of the Babylonian titles of an idol goddess, the Queen of Heaven. The Saxon goddess Istre is the same as the Astarte, the Syrian Venus called Ashtoreth in the Old Testament. It was the worship of this woman by Israel that was such an abomination to God. It says, and it gives scriptures, First Samuel chapter 7, verse 3, 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 5 and 33, 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 13, as well as Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 18, and chapter 44, verse 18, showing that this celebration of Easter, Astarte, Ashtoreth, what the Christians today are calling Resurrection Sunday, but which is not, was an abomination to God. So it says, round cakes imprinted with the sign of the cross were made at this festival, the sign being in the Babylonian mysteries a sign of life. It says Easter eggs, which play a great part in the day's celebration, were common in all heathen nations. The fable of the egg declares that an egg of wondrous size fell from heaven into the river Euphrates. The fish rolled it to the bank, where doves settled upon it and hatched it. Out came Astarte, or Ishtar, the goddess of Easter. Easter, Christmas, Lady Day, Lent, and other Babylonian festivals were all borrowed from this religion and were all observed centuries before Christ. None of them have any relationship to Christ or Christianity. So, and you guys, this is a King James version. This is a King James Version Bible. So, and this is a reference. I like dates because it is an annotated reference Bible, very detailed. One of the things that I use study Bibles. I use reference Bibles because I like to dig and like get behind it. So, dates is when it comes to the King James Version, dates is one of your best. So, back to this here, and the New King James Version, and this parable of the virgins, the foolish and the wise. The foolish virgins, they did not have the extra oil, so they went to go and get it, and they got it, and they came back. But when they came back, it says the door was already shut. And so when they knocked on the door, and said, "Open to us," the bridegroom answered and said, "I don't know you." So you're late on a date that is important to God, a date that He Himself instituted. This is not a man-made stuff. This is God. We're talking God, the creator of everything. We're talking our holy God, who we say we believe in, and yet we're going to come late to what He Himself instituted. And so, this is the second time that I know of in scripture where King Jesus actually said to a group of people, "I do not know you." The first time is found in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 through 23, where he said to many, many in that day will say to me, "Lord, Lord, did I not prophesy in your name? Did I not expel demons in your name and do many wonders?" And He said, "Nevertheless, I will say to them, I don't know you. Depart from me. I don't know you. So, the time where people like to say, it's not important. Like, okay, all you could do is warn a person. All you could do is tell a person, But if they so choose, and that's the thing, God gave us our free will. He gave us free will, so there is an accountability to put this warning out there and to make it known. But at the end of the day, everybody has a choice, and so whether or not that choice is honored, whether or not a person chooses to honor God how He wants to be served, or a holy God serving Him how He wants to be served, or whether we want to continue doing our own thing, it's a choice. It's a choice. So I just want to let you know that the dates do matter. It does matter, and that's what this parable about the wise and foolish virgins is about. They were late. They were late. They were not ready. They were late. So, again, this is day one's video, my video for day one, which is loving kindness and loving kindness. But technically, now that I got the video done, let me go focus where I should be focused on now, because of the timing that we're in. The focus is now on day 2. So I'm about to go, and I will try to do my videos in the morning. Again, this is day 1 of counting. I want to share something with you too. So there are a lot of websites that deal with counting the Omer, a whole lot of websites, and I found one, like, you could literally go and look it up online. Come on, wake up, computer. Come on, wake up, computer. So you can literally go look up counting the Omer online, and there's a whole bunch of websites, like a slew of information that goes into detail about it. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to share is because I'm not Jewish, but yet you don't have to be Jewish to celebrate this. You don't have, like, this was something for everybody. And as a matter of fact, I encourage you, go look at the book of Zechariah, the last chapter. These festivals do matter, and this is something that everybody, when it's all said and done, will be acknowledging, or will be called to acknowledge. It literally, in Zechariah chapter 14, mentions the celebration of the Feast of Tabernacles. So it's almost coming up. There's something that I want to read and share. I'm on my slow computer. So yeah, it's coming up. Come on. I should get on the other computer. Come on. I guess it'll come up when it's ready. You know what? Here it comes. Okay. Almost there. There we go. All right. So, I pulled up 3 different websites. I'm going to actually go to the one that's on Shabbat.org. And the count is for day 1. They do their count at night. I was doing mine at day, but I want to read this because this is an amazing prayer. So it says, "May the merciful one restore unto us the service of the Bet Hamikdash to its place." Bet means house, by the way, house. To its place speedily in our days. Amen. Selah. It says, "For the choir master, a song with instrumental music, a psalm. May God be gracious to us and bless us. May he make his countenance shine upon us forever, that your way may be known on earth, your salvation among all nations. The nations will extol you, O God. All the nations will extol you. The nations will rejoice and sing for joy, for you will judge the peoples justly and guide the nations on earth forever. The peoples will extol you, O God. O God. All the peoples will extol, that means to praise, will extol you. It says, for the earth will have yielded its produce, and God, our God, will bless us. Hold on. Okay. It says, God will bless us, and all from the farthest corners of the earth shall fear him. And so this is not talking about one nation. This is literally talking about everybody praising God, worshiping God, fearing God. It says, we implore you by the great power of your right hand, release the captive. Accept the prayer of your people. Strengthen us, purify us. Awesome one, mighty one, we beseech you. Guard as the apple of the eye those who seek your oneness. Bless them, cleanse them, bestow upon them forever your merciful righteousness. Powerful Holy One, in your abounding goodness, guide your congregation. Only an exalted one, turn to your people who are mindful of your holiness. Accept our supplication and hear our cry. You who know secret thoughts, blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever. Master of the universe, you have commanded us through Moses, your servant, to count Sephirat HaOmer, or count the Omer. It says, in order to purify us from our evil and uncleanness. In actuality, like it says, in order to purify us from our evil and uncleanness. In actuality, when you look at each one of those weeks, the first week being about loving kindness, we're living in a world where there's so much hate. There's so much hate. There's so much evil. And here is a week where our focus is on loving kindness. The second week is our focus is on discipline. The week after that, what is the focus on? Compassion, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, compassion. Then after that, it'll be a week of endurance, a week of humility, a week of foundation or being grounded, and then a week of leadership, servant leadership. So, going over these different attributes, these qualities that we're working on for ourselves. It says, I love that. It says, you have commanded us through Moses, your servant, to count the Omer, like Sephirat HaOmer, or counting the Omer. It says, in order to purify us from our evil and uncleanness. It says, as you have written in your Torah, the Torah would be the first 5 books of the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's the Torah. It says, as you have written in your Torah, you shall count for yourselves from the day following the day of rest. It says, from the day on which you bring the Omer as a wave offering. The counting shall be for 7 full weeks. Until the day following the 7th week shall you count 50 days. And we just read that in Leviticus chapter 23. I think it was verse 15 and 16. So it says, so that the souls of your people, Israel, may be cleansed from their defilement. It says, therefore, may it be your will, Lord our God and God of our fathers, in the merit of the Sephirat HaOmer, which I counted today, day one. Today's day one of counting Omer. It says, the blemish that I have caused in the Sephirat Shesed, Shebe, Shesed, or that means Shesed, Shebe, Shesed means loving kindness and loving kindness. It says, be rectified, and I may be purified and sanctified with supernal holiness. May abundant bounty thereby be bestowed upon all the words. May I rectify our nefesh. Nefesh is soul. It says ruach. Ruach is spirit, and neshama. Gotta go look that up. It says, from every baseness and defect, and may it purify and sanctify us with your supernal holiness. Amen. Selah. So these are qualities that individually I'm working on, but I'm sharing this because you might never have heard of this. Like I said, when I first heard of it, it was last year. So this is what it says. Love is the single most powerful and necessary component of life. It is both giving and receiving. Love allows us to reach above and beyond ourselves, to experience another person, and to allow that person to experience us. It is the tool by which we learn to experience the highest reality, God. Examine the love aspect of your love. So I'm examining the love of my love. Is my love truly loving? Am I truly being loving kindness? So today was about me examining that. It says, ask yourself, what is my capacity to love another person? Do I have problems with love, with giving? Am I stingy and selfish or selfish? Is it difficult for me to let someone else into my life? Am I afraid of my vulnerability of opening up and getting hurt? And then the exercise, what I had to practice today was, again, finding a new way to express my love to a dear one. So, again, part of that is me, when I'm talking to somebody, I need to watch my tone. When I'm talking to somebody, I need to watch my tone. I don't need to reflect back. Like, there's videos I've seen where it's talking about like matching energy. Do they match your energy? And I don't need to match everybody's energy. So therefore, if somebody is coming to me harsh, I don't need to return that. I don't need to match that. I need to make sure that my loving kindness is truly loving. That's what day one of counting the Omer is about. So I look forward to sharing day two. Day two will be working on discipline. And so I'll share that tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go and get all these videos done. And it's 49 days of counting the Omer. I hope you stick with me for each of them. Okay, bye for now.